So I have my perspective grid set up. I've got my placeholder image in there. I can also do the job of dropping out that target object. But as I bring in my artwork, I'm just going to start a new layer to place into. I'm going to go the left side first. And as I can see in the widget here, I don't have anything selected, so it'll just pop that straight in there. I need to grab my perspective selection tool, and I should see that as soon as I click and drag, then Illustrator is adjusting that artwork relative to the perspective grid. So that seems to be working pretty well there. As is the case always with perspective, we would have sort of covered this in our art upbringings. We get some foreshortening, so just making an adjustment there. You can see that's looking pretty good. I'm going to select the other perspective plane. Once again, placing this time the right side artwork, which I've pre-prepared. Again, clicking and dragging that over the perspective area, or the perspective grid area, I should say, and just making allowances for the foreshortening that always happens with perspective. I can see there I've got an almost perfect match. Might just turn off, so Command Shift I to toggle the what do we call it, the perspective grid on and off. And I'm just wanting to line up that seam. That's looking pretty fine actually. Maybe I can give it a tincture more in that direction. Command Shift I to toggle. I'm just concerned with this seam, just looking to see that this seam looks kind of neat in terms of my design. That's okay. And finally, I'm going to place the box top. This time I'm selecting, oops, gotta choose the tool, selecting the horizontal area. And you can see as I've grabbed that, so that in the 2-point perspective mode, it's sort of sitting at the bottom there. But I should see, I'm not going to be too concerned about lining this one up for the seams and so on, just to get it to fit and appear vaguely as if it's part of that same object. Oh, that was interesting. What was that? That appears to be a different color, which it should not be. Oh, that's because it's in behind the white. I just figured out what was going on there. There we go. Boom. Yeah, it's better. Cool. Okay. Sweet. Well, that is pretty good. In terms of perspective, I'm going to go ahead and say that's perfect. I'm ignoring the seams at the top here. If I was doing this for real, then I'd take care of those in the same way that the front was by having my artwork prepared. However, this is good as gold. If I pop out the the guide, and I can see that I've got pretty much a perfect perspective, and I need to do a little bit more editing in Photoshop. to get this to be exactly right. I just want to make sure that I've got those little bits organised before I save. Let's have a look. That's better. Anything that I can get edited here will save me time in Photoshop.